Hey friends, especially military vet friends, I really need some help. My boyfriend, Alex, is in the Army and he's got severe PTSD. He's been trying to get help for several years now. I met him about a year ago and his life is spiraling out of control because the VA just made things worse instead of helping. And just everything in his life is falling apart. I'm so thankful that I found him and that I'm in his life, and I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to help him as much as I can, but I really don't know anything about military stuff or the VA. I've been trying to figure it out this year. You know, we've been to VA clinics and hospitals in Florida and Alabama. We're gonna try Ohio soon. It's been hard because I'm kind of transient right now, and we have a little bit of a complicated situation. And I am just so, hold on, let me step outside so this isn't so much noise. I had hoped that the VA wasn't as bad as I had heard it was. Though, honestly, I should have known that it was going to be absolutely horrible because I had PTSD for over a decade when I was younger, and occasionally it still gets triggered. I'm in a pretty good place now, but I had it from being raped by someone that worked at the VA in Birmingham, Alabama. So I should have known. I just should have known by association. That's a horrible place, But anyways, I need some help. I mean, we have called the veteran crisis line several times. They just talk and want to put you in touch with a social worker, and they just tell you a bunch of stuff. They don't help you. The veteran service officers, they haven't really been helpful at all. And it's been difficult because Alex is essentially homeless right now. He's in Florida. I mean, he had a school. He was going to school to keep himself busy so that he wouldn't lose his mind, and also to help him, pay for a place to live, because he's on 40% disability from the military. So I think that's $750 a month. That's not, it's enough for his car payment and a few essentials, but not enough to take care of himself. And he had fucking saved up after being in the military to be able to support himself forever when he had a son that was born 3 months premature that died and went through a bad divorce and stuff. And that's what prompted him to go to a VA facility in Tennessee to seek grief counseling. But when he went in for grief counseling, they held him against his will. They Baker Act him, and he was telling me, he was trying to show me some article earlier about something to do with the Baker Act being investigated. I don't know, I'm just barely holding on with trying to keep him together. But anyways, he was kind of spiraling. He was in school, at a school, Tulsa Welding School. They cater heavily to veterans. And, I knew that. So when he started having episodes, I live in Alabama and Ohio, depending on the day. I kept trying to call the school and get him help. I tried to call the veteran service officer. It took over a week just to get in touch with him. When I finally get in touch with the veteran service officer, he doesn't go check on Alex until a month later after I call again. And then he just barely introduces himself for 5 or 10 minutes. Doesn't make any, supposedly he knows all about PTSD because he was a medic or something. But obviously he doesn't, because he didn't do anything to help Alex feel comfortable with him so that Alex would actually approach him. I even went down to, oh my God, I was driving back and forth to Florida. I went down, I even basically had a board meeting with the vice president of the school, and it's telling them that Alex has PTSD, tried to get him accommodations and stuff because he was doing okay at first. And then he fell a little behind and it started triggering him and it started spiraling. So I was trying to help him before it got, to help him to be able to hang in there. He wanted to hang in there. And they said, oh, you can fill out these forms for accommodation and stuff. And they said that they would check on him, that they'd make sure that, the instructors, and towards the end, the final thing was they moved him to a different shift. They said there'd be fewer students. There weren't. And he still didn't have access to his instructors. And it was still falling further and further behind. And I mean, both he and I about now, it was bad. It was bad. I mean, this school was driving us crazy, and I'd really like to do something about that because, one of the things really eating at him is he feels taken advantage of. They took his GI Bill or whatever, and I mean there were some questionable things that they were doing too. Like he was supposedly withdrawn, or was supposed to be withdrawn, but they didn't actually withdraw him. They kept pinging his thing. And anyway, so like his GI Bill is basically gone. And we haven't had a chance to look back into that. And when he left the school, I mean the last month he was in an apartment that was almost $2,000 a month, and he just needed, at the time he was trying to stay in school, he just needed to stay in Florida like 4 more months to finish this program, or maybe 6. And they wanted, if he wanted to go month to month, they wanted to charge him $3,000 a month. We tried looking into like homeless options and stuff, ended up blowing through more of his savings, renting an Airbnb for a month before I finally stepped in. And I was like, okay, all right, you just leave school, just come home with me. And it's complicated. My situation is or I guess our situation is complicated, not for us, but I guess for other people, because I'm married, I'm in an open relationship, so like I wasn't expecting. I'm thankful that my husband supports me and Alex by allowing, we're trying to help him and care for him and stuff. He's part of our family. Like we're a tribe. We don't necessarily want to live together forever. Our goal is to help Alex be able to function on his own and stuff. People would stop fucking taking advantage of him. But it's so fucking easy for these people to take advantage of someone that has PTSD, and the VA won't fucking give him the treatment that he needs. We even, we went in and we talked to them about filling out the paperwork so that we could submit it to the school for official documentation. And they were like, oh, well, it would take longer for us to do the stuff that we need to do to fill out this form than you have left in your program, And then we've tried scheduling him mental health appointments multiple times. Every time they're canceled. His last one was scheduled for September 11th. He waited almost 2 months for it because we came to Alabama and we got it scheduled and stuff. We know we have to wait for the first one or whatever, because apparently it's not a fucking emergency unless you're about to kill yourself or someone else. I'm pretty fucking sure they're trying to drive all of you and those of us that support you insane. Probably to suppress you. I'm just saying. You know what? You're our best hope when shit hits the fan from whoever it is that causes it. Anyways, they call and they cancel his appointment. They tell him the doctor's out of town, and it's going to be over a month before they can schedule it again. And then I call, man, I spend over an hour talking to people, and I finally talked to one person that reassures me that they're going to schedule him, a therapist and a prescriber and a support thing or whatever, and I think a support person called him, but the support person smarted off to him and he didn't take it too well. Nothing else ever happened. And then we go into a VA clinic last week. The one person that they have there is about to retire, and they basically tell us, just how fucked up the VA is, and they make a suggestion to go show up somewhere to like one of the main facilities and request care that day. But I don't know, I think I might just wait a few weeks till I get to Ohio and try up there, because that's where we'll ideally be staying in the long term. And I'm just so fucking exhausted. I love Alex and I want to do what I can to help him, but I've basically stepped into the role of a caregiver without knowing that's what I was getting into, and it's impacted my life and my ability to function, to try and have a career, and also my mental health. And so I'm over here, we're hanging on by some threads. We're hanging on. We're doing our best to stay sane. And then to top everything off, after he moved in with me in Alabama, he'd only been here like maybe a month. He is hit by a woman that his car is hit, him in it, by a woman that runs a red light. It totals his vehicle, and he got a new vehicle, but insurance never gives you like what it takes to actually replace it. He took over a $15,000 hit. Now he has all these medical expenses and stuff. We freaking contacted a lawyer because that's what he wanted to do for the medical part of it and stuff. And it's just not going well. It's not going well because like he had an appointment today. I was not able to go with him. He was there 2 hours. He got there 30 minutes early and was there an hour and a half, and he couldn't stay anymore. Like he was almost to the doctor. I was trying to talk him through it, but he's like, if I stay, I'm going to snap, like he's trying to stay out of trouble. So anyways, if you listen to all of this, anyone, please help us, because we're freaking drowning and this is just ridiculous.